Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as promised, I'm gonna break down this Mathews Edition UV slider. I wanna compare and contrast it to the old UV slider. I wanna see what did they make better, what did they change, what's different. Let's get right to it. This is not a cheap site. So if you're on a budget, this is not for you. But if you are looking for something pretty advanced that does a lot of things, this could be the site for you. Let's dig in. So Ultraview does a good job with their packaging. You have a quick start guide, you have a QR code, you have your options of a 3-pin horizontal, vertical, or a 5-pin horizontal. I ordered a 5-pin horizontal because I'm hunting out west. I don't want to slide for any animal from pretty much 20 out to 60. I'd like to have fixed pins, and then anything beyond 60, I will slide. I'll use my bottom pin. That'll give me the most distance or clearance before I hit that sight housing. Nice case that comes with it. Here's the head. This is that viz where you can take out the light if you're gonna hunt a state that doesn't allow light, and you can take your light out, so no electronics, and put this in. Spare hardware, your sight tapes. Ooh, and possibly a way to recharge your battery. I don't know, we'll check it out. Let's first look at the comparison. Come on over, guys. I'm not, like, this is just a waste of space for me, but if somebody wants to push their sight out, you might wanna go with the original Ultraview slider. But for me, I got one spot and it's nice. So let's get this in. We're gonna put this in the RS. It's got like a really good fit. Like you have like a stop. So there's no like guessing this cutout right here. You just go all the way in and that's where it needs to be. So typically these will come out of factory with the first and second axis married, meaning you shouldn't have to adjust the rail. You shouldn't have to be able to manipulate that first axis. They're tied together. What they're saying is that it's gonna come out of factory perfectly square. We shall see. So just like the old Ultraview, you're gonna open up and you're gonna come in from the back side. Should click. There's your click. Well, first thing I noticed is that there is now a stop, which is great. The original UV slider did not have a stop. Once you get your home or your 20 set, you wanna be able to, like if you're looking at an animal and you're just gonna slide up to home, you should be able to look at the animal, slide it to home, lock it in, know you're there. So that stop is here. So this guy will meet this guy. That's your stop. We may need to adjust our stop depending on the setup, so that's pretty cool. First thing I like to do is just put levels on my string. Bubble, both bubbles are level, and this bubble is level. Now, that's pretty fortunate for me. Usually, we will use a Hamskea Gen 2 to inspect, and there's a sweet place right here on the site to put this so it's flush. So our string is level in both planes. Our Hamskea Gen 2 is level, and our bubble is level on the site. So we literally don't have to make any adjustments, but we'll show you where to make adjustments if you had to. So this is the original, this is the Mathews Edition. Bubbles are the same. I do like the thinner housing. This viz ring is a little bit slimmer. I think that'd be a better sight picture. It looks like the pen construction on the Mathews Edition is more robust. Also, you can see that this guy versus this guy, I think we have a lot more fibers. I don't know if you guys can pick up all those fibers in there, but that's going to make for a lot brighter without the light, which is super important to me. That was my biggest critique, is that these pins were in this hallway, and you can see the size of the hallway made it so that these were dark. And I hunt a lot of states where you can't have this light turned on when you're hunting. I just turn that light on. So that is the light just on the pins. There's no light on the bubble. You can hold it down, and now you have another light shining on your bubble and on the pins. But if you're hunting over here, because of this hallway, and I think because they shrunk that down significantly and added a ton more fiber, this is I can see those. That's with the light. So your individual adjustments are right here, so you can adjust your top 2 pins and your bottom 2 pins, and just like the original, the middle pin is fixed in the middle of the housing. Same over here. This middle pin, the yellow, is in the middle. You don't move it, you can only adjust. And to get to it was a lot harder. It was back here. Yes, you could pop these cartridges off, but now you don't have to pop anything off. You can make your adjustments right there. That's actually huge because you're right here. You can really control, manipulate those top 2 pins and those bottom 2 pins versus having to dig your way to the back here and hit that small little Allen and make these really coarse adjustments. So that's nice. With this 3-pin, you had that baby bottom pin in the bottom, that yellow one, and we no longer have that, and I hated using that pin. Now we just have a nice clean green, red, green, red, green, and we have one indicator, and you can see the indicator's already at the bottom, and you can adjust it however you like. All right, guys, let's talk about how to adjust the first and second axis, which I didn't have to, but in case you do, there is a bolt right underneath here that you're gonna have to crack. That's your set screw. That's a 9/64 Allen. And it doesn't take much, just kind of crack it nice and loose. And then you're gonna slide over, and it's labeled real clearly, it's small, but you're gonna use a 5/64 Allen key, and you're gonna just be able to turn that. Now, depending on how you turn this screw, it's gonna move it. I believe both of the Allen keys are included in your hardware kit. If you turn this first axis screw clockwise or to the right, it's going to move this scope if you're facing this direction to the right or clockwise. If you turn the screw to the left or counterclockwise, it's going to move the dual dial assembly counterclockwise as well. Once you get it set and level the way that you desire, then you'll just go right over here to this 9/64 Allen and lock it up in tight, and that is it. Third axis, you're gonna wanna do, like I said, at the range somewhere where you have a steep downhill shot or uphill, or both ideally. Your set screw is on top. It's 9/64, so it's the same as the first and second axis set screw. Crack that so it's loose, and then you'll move over with your 5/64 key, and right here you're gonna turn this right or left. If you turn it right or clockwise, it's going to rotate this whole assembly in view of the shooter clockwise. And if you move it to the left or counterclockwise, it's going to move your assembly counterclockwise or to the left in view of the shooter. Really easy to adjust. It is a finite small little turn. Do not make big turns. Just turn this screw a little, lock in your set screw, shoot. Do not make big turns because a little turn will move this a lot. I would honestly tape a vertical line on your target and just try to hit the middle of the middle and then adjust accordingly. Super easy to adjust. If you are going to use the light on this UV slider, you're going to hit it once and it's going to automatically turn to the brightest setting. You can tap it once and it's going to lower it down to a little bit lower setting. Tap it again, a little bit less brighter, and then finally tap it again. And that is as low as it goes. Once you tap it again, it'll flash at you and turn off. All right, guys, we're going to sight in. Here's how we do it with the 5-pin horizontal. So you have 5 pins. The middle green is fixed. That's gonna be the pin you're gonna use. We're gonna walk outside here in a moment and we're gonna use the middle pin and we're gonna find 20. And I'm just going to take this and move it until I find middle pin hitting at 20 yards. Once I do find that, I'm gonna key in on the back side, and these do come off. So this little plate you can unscrew, take out, and then find your sight-in tape, which is right here. And it looks like we have 6 sight-in tapes. All we need is 1. We will peel and we will stick that to where our 20-yard red line matches up with the indicator telling us that, hey, your middle pin is set in for 20 yards. Once you have that, you're gonna still key in on your middle pin and you're gonna just slide down and shoot out at 60. And take your time, have a low wind day, do this several days in a row. You really want this number to be absolutely perfect if you're gonna use this sight-in method. And once you find the number that corresponds with your 60, using your middle pin, take your phone, zoom in, take a picture, and see what number that is. Whatever that number is your sight tape. You're not done. Then you're gonna take this housing, okay, and you're gonna take your housing off and you're gonna match your pins up with the exact sight tape, and then you will basically make your 20-yard your actual 20-yard, 30 your 30, 40 your 40, so on and so forth. I'm gonna do a little matchy on 30. And so I'll just do this process until I have all these 5 pins matching with my sight tape number 2. Number 2 I laid this down on there and individually adjusted all my pins to match what I want, which is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I'm gonna pop this back in. Fits really nice. Tighten it. Then obviously we have our indicator here, which we will adjust to be our 60. Also our bottom pin, also our slider. So now that we have our pin gaps the way that we want and everything's set, we'll put this in, and then we need to kind of refine 20 yards, which will be our home. We'll find 20, we'll put our dead stop adjusted to it so that we always slide up and it dead stops at 20. Then I will put my sight tape on, adjust my slider, and we will go shoot this bow, test it out. Should be good. All right, 20 yards. 30 yards, second pin. Okay, 40. 40 was a little low. We have to shoot 40 twice. Snow is about to hit us, guys. We gotta hustle. So this is 50 yards. Pretty fun out there shooting the sight, kind of getting it dialed in. Let's talk about this battery and recharging. That's one thing we didn't cover. And I need to adjust that 50 and 60 yard pin. They're off a little bit. So pop this off. I'll make those adjustments over here. You guys already saw how we do that. And we have our Viz ring and battery and all that. You guys can see when you pop that off, you got a micro USB-C where you can just plug it in and charge that guy up, which is cool. So there's no more batteries. You just have to recharge it. I don't know how long the battery holds. We'll find out. We'll do a follow-up after we use this. I definitely plan on hunting with this soon. Like this whole setup, I'm gonna take to whitetail hunting right away. Where I'm going, it's legal to use a light, but if I wasn't, I would just pop this Viz ring out and replace it with this guy right here. And so instead of seeing this, you would have the full white circle. So basically this sight is adaptable to places that allow you to have, you know, an artificial light and places that do not. Just follow the rules, guys, and adjust accordingly. What I'm gonna say in recap is UV has continued to do a really good job on the sight side. Very impressed. And you guys know I have tried a lot of sights, a lot. This is up there. They've really paid close attention to a lot of little details. The biggest thing for me is the brightness of the UV Mathews Edition compared to version 1. It's night and day difference, and that was my biggest complaint. They added a ton more fiber. There's less of a hallway. The cartridges are compressed. It's probably the best slider out there. I mean, there's more to test, more to tinker. Companies are always pushing each other, but I wanted to get you guys a full video of us sighting this in, checking it out, and let me know what you think. It's $100 more than the original. I think it's worth it if it's in your budget. And finally, guys, gear does not make you a better archer. You make yourself a better archer through perfect practice, dialing in the foundation, the fundamentals, the technique. So when we cover new gear, it's cool stuff, but nothing's cooler than doing some serious blank belling this winter. Join a winter league, continue to get your reps, continue to stay on your grind. Separation's in the preparation. We'll catch you on the next one.